Hello, I'm George Romero, and you're watching the Abernathy Project.
Feed me subscribers. Yeah, so this is Murakami here to maybe make you laugh, but more likely just inform you about a great classic film, and don't mind my delightful zebra stripes. So we are here, we being Abernathy as a whole, have come together this week to let a beautiful thing happen. Let the George Romero week commence. Abernathy has all gathered to honor one of the true grandfathers of horror. In 1968, in striking black and white, a very special film was released that heralded a new movement in the horror cinema genre. George Romero's seminal and indispensable film Night of the Living Dead changed the precepts of what independent films could achieve, and unintentionally challenged racial norms of the day, and gave a richer and more societally pertinent meaning to an underdeveloped horror icon, breathing life into the undead, a cast of relative unknowns who are besieged by an ever-increasing army of the living dead and end up in an abandoned farmhouse in the countryside. Their personal tensions and fears proceed to quite literally tear their flesh apart. And onto the various DVD releases. For a long time a definitive edition was not compiled. When I first acquired the film, it was out of a bargain bin and couldn't have cost me more than $3. Billed as the Excelsior Collector's Edition. Here it is. I see Excelsior at the top there. It's a classic image. And you can see the back here. Hold it up so you can see some of the features while I rant and rave at you a little bit. The features include an original lobby poster, and get this, the credits. The transfer is lacking, but it's watchable, it's completely watchable, and I can't part with it as it was my first Romero experience. Memories. But I digress. Next, on to the 30th anniversary edition with Karen's zombie face on the cover, a delightful little girl who's going to eat your brains. Spearheaded by co-writers John Russo, Anchor Bay released a nice clean transfer with new scenes directed by Russo tacked onto the film that clear up some questions the fans are left with. Necessary? No. Worth a watch for diehards, of course. You can also watch the 90-minute cut with a new musical score. As you can see on the back here, some of the other features include a behind-the-scenes featurette, trailer, commentary without Romero, music videos, etc. If you find it for a steal, snag it. That's what I did. Now to the meat and potatoes. This is the Millennium Edition, folks. Romero approved and THX optimized. Best transfer of the bunch, and by far the most extensive list of features since Stuart Gordon's Reanimator DVD set. You've got trailers, multiple commentaries, Romero and complete cast included, Night of the Living Bread parody, photos, interviews, including the last with Dwayne Jones before his demise. Now there's a lot on here, as you can see. This is the Laserdisc transfer, formatted for optimal DVD, video, and sound. This is going to be the real collector and fans' best bet to appreciate the film. There was an alternate release made available around the time of Diary of the Dead, the time that came out, and that was released by the Weinsteins through Dimension, and it boasts many of the same features that you can tell are obviously just, ripped from this DVD, but in a much lower quality and lossy formats. So beware, and I would say that this is the thing to look for, even if you have to find it and spend a little bit more online. It's definitely going to be worth it. This is something special. This is a little bonus here that maybe isn't a necessity, and some people might have a little problem initially and be a little apprehensive about it, but it's a really cool version of the film that 20th Century Fox and Legend Films recently released, last couple years. and it is in the correct full frame format. And what makes it really innovative is the truly stunning colorized enhancement. You may initially be a little worried, but the technology has really improved in the last few years and looks as if it was never black and white. Legend Films has been colorizing a bunch of films, older films and interesting stuff like this, including the Three Stooges lately, and these things really look pretty good. It's not as it was originally presented, so they leave you the option of watching the original black and white, the original cut of the film, or the colorized version. So it's really just, you have the option. It adds another level of creeptastic atmosphere, and it does not come across as looking really technicolor and irritating. It's not going to be The Wizard of Oz, great for other reasons, but visually a little, that's only good for fantastical film. This looks a bit more realistic, and for the time it was made, I feel like the people who worked on this did a really great job picking out the colors, color scheme, whatever you want to call it, the color palette. Mike Nelson of Mystery Science Theater 3000 fame also does a witty commentary track amongst a few other disparate features. So if you see it cheap, which is how I found it and how my other friends have found it, I've never really seen it go for more than $5 or $6. It's definitely worth giving a watch, and it kind of also syncs up with the other versions of the films. They were all in color and work that way, but it is what it is, and you do kind of realize that these zombies were blue zombies, but I don't think it hurts. So then, to round out the bunch is the Tom Savini directed remake, which rather faithfully follows the original screenplay with minor clarifications and altered special effects, including color, but real color. They shot it in color. No colorization. The cast includes Tony Todd of Candyman fame, Patricia Tallman, who Romero fans might recognize when he utilized her in his Tales from the Dark Side series, an episode about a werewolf family. There are good special features on here, including a commentary, a behind-the-scenes featurette, and trailers. The film has its fans and its detractors, but it can't be argued it's inspired by the master and executed by his faithful understudies. So, onward and upward to the rest of the week of brain-munching goodness, my children. Murakami signing out. Adios.